Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Strange Waves. Today we have a very special guest, unlike all the other days. Joking. We have the amazing Ladylost.
Hello, everyone. Hello, all my lost children.
We also have Pyropal.
Yo, what's up?
And Gorilla.
What's poppin'?
Anybody? I know you don't want to be called your real name. Do you two want to be called your real name, or you don't care? Okay. So
We good.
okay. So I can dox you guys. Pyropal, Aiden, Pyropal,
Sure.
Joe, Gorilla, Joe.
Yeah.
Gorilla Joe?
Boy, I've been on so many of your Twitch streams.
I've been on so many too, but like no one still knows my name yet. And if y'all doxing me, I'm shooting you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
should clarify that you have a Nerf gun.
Oh yeah, I have a Nerf gun.
To be fair, what we actually call you isn't your real name to begin with.
It's still my name.
I know.
So starting out the podcast, we're gonna start with we have a segment we like to call Knowing the Unknown, where we pretty much go over things that are in the supernatural category that we think needs more
Attention.
attention. To start it out, we're gonna go ahead and start with the guest of honor of today, Ladylost. What do you have for us?
Something that I personally have been really interested in for a long time is a little circle called the Devil's Stomping Ground. It's a patch up in North Carolina, I believe exactly the mountains, but I don't know exactly where. But I'd love to visit it. But it's a patch where nothing grows in there at all, called the Devil's Stomping Ground. And at night, it says that if you put something in there, it'll be tossed out and it'll be outside the circle in the morning. As well as, they say if you try to sleep in there at night or stay up there at night, you'll wake up outside the circle, and if you try to stay up, there will be a voice that will lull you to sleep, and then the next morning you'll find yourself outside the circle.
I mean, that sounds kind of fun. Sounds like a trip to make.
You want to go camping?
I mean, it sounds like
I'm down.
It sounds like one bad night with too much whiskey.
I mean,
So we're all going?
Oh Lord.
I mean, we can record it too.
Oh, heck yeah.
Make it a video.
Definitely. I can get some more people to come join us, too. Some people who know about camping.
I mean, I know my fair share of camping stuff, and sure, Mr. Gorilla Joe over here does as well.
I know.
And I have a 12-person tent.
Huh?
I have a 12-person
You
tent.
have a 12-person tent? Really?
Yes.
And I'm poor, so I'm good at acting homeless.
That's crazy.
Now,
Sorry, we're burning incense.
Mallow Bay.
Jesus. Yeah.
If you go camping with some of your friends and you wake up and your asshole hurts, do you tell somebody about it?
Yes.
I'm not dignifying that.
Especially if you take a special someone with you.
Oh boy.
Come on, it would be fun. No, no.
Get a kitchen gun.
I shot her.
With the Nerf gun.
Lady is dead. Alright, that's the podcast.
You got a new ghost haunting your house.
Oh boy.
Alright, well, that sounds like a lot of fun, though. What did you say it was called again?
The Devil's Stomping Ground.
The Devil's Stomping Ground, North Carolina.
Yeah, up in the mountains. I gotta figure out where exactly it's at again, but I can do that.
That sounds fun.
We can get away.
Pyropal? Okay, Joe. What do you got for us?
I would say the disappearance of the first settlers of North Carolina and the Croatan Indians.
Ooh.
Okay.
I've heard about this.
I know about this, but for those who don't.
Well, the first settlers of North Carolina, they landed on one of the Outer Bank Islands, where a group of Indians, the Croatans, were. Well, one of the settlers went back to get more money and supplies for the settlers And by the time he got back, them and the Indians were both disappeared. Everything's still there. No trace of tracks or anything.
It's scary, and I still don't think that they have any like definite proof of what happened exactly.
There are theories that they. Now, again, I know a little bit about this, but there are theories that they may have gone to another tribe to take residence. But there was also neighboring tribes of Native Americans who were like not happy with their neighbors.
Yeah, they were very vicious. Or territorial. However you want to really look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
There was one statement from another sailor later down the line about a blonde-haired Native American, which makes them believe that they might have the survivors might have gone to other tribes. But I can't remember where I got that statement from.
I mean, to be fair, that's why a good majority of Americans are blended in with some sort of Native American
That's
true.
subspecies.
That's true.
I have I think Cherokee in me.
Same.
Way in the past, actually, tribe's chief's daughter. Ancestor. My family's really into history, okay?
Same.
And we learned about our heritage.
Boo.
Related to Queen Elizabeth II.
The fuck?
Okay, now it's your turn. You got nothing?
All right, you've had a while to think about this. What do you have, Aiden?
That's right, bitch.
I don't really know much about, like,
You out?
bro.
What do you got? What do you got for us? Give us something good. Give us something.
Does that have to be like a place, or it can be like a creature?
We went through
An
this. It could be
event,
anything.
creature.
It could even be a serial killer.
Alright, I guess.
A place, spooky place,
Go with
cryptid, alien,
Wendigo.
a Wendigo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Okay.
Alright, so basically its origins are Native American, and it revolves around, like, starvation-induced cannibalism, right? And there,
I think specifically in the mountains, right?
yeah. And
The Appalachian Mountains, correct?
I believe so. I know it's around the Great Lakes, right?
Yeah, probably around the Appalachian Mountains. They're across the East Coast.
And they are these really deformed, tall, like ash-skinned, once human creatures. They kind of have a like deer-esque mix. Antlers.
You? Yeah. I can kind of. I do know that I'm pretty sure it's not the actual physical form that is the Wendigo. I think it's more the spirit is that, which latches itself onto the host. It could also latch itself onto, I think, anybody who kills said host, I believe. So it becomes very... If the myths are true, it becomes a very dangerous chain reaction.
I also know it's dangerous to say their names, which is why someone who lives out in the wilderness, I prefer not to say their names or hear anyone say their names, in case if that follows me home. Because again, I live out in the woods. I have wild animals in my backyard.
It's okay. We mostly have skinwalkers out here.
Which I think you're also not really supposed to say that name.
Yeah, you're not.
I think both of them is supposed to is a no for saying the name.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think that there's a lot of things where you can't like say the name, quote unquote. But I think demon names are though, right?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are very specific demon names that you are not to say under any circumstance.
Mm.
And if any of y'all say them, I'm getting my holy water, I'm and I'm washing your mouth out with it.
Which, if it's believed to be true, that does make, like, Hello Boston Has Been Hotel very dangerous.
Oh,
Because they use, like, actual names in the show. So, if somebody's like, oh, look at my fan character,
Get the stats!
and then they end up fucking possessing themselves.
Good lord.
I mean, to be fair, that's just Darwinism. That's honest.
Yeah, more or less. Supernatural Darwinism, but still Darwinism nonetheless.
Yo, we're horror
Less
moving
warning
this?
labels. Yippee.
Yippee!
Who do you think's gonna be the last one here to survive a horror movie?
Last survival horror movie?
Out of all four of us.
On the inside,
Oh, it wouldn't be you.
like
It would be me.
Okay,
I said it wouldn't be you.
Oh.
No,
personality
you like to talk too
wise,
much.
I don't know about you.
Okay, so we're back. Aiden said a stupid thing.
Tee.
Don't fucking say TT.
You're an idiot.
I'm so sorry for all the smoke everywhere. For those who for the podcast, right now I'm actually burning incense in the room because I told Mello here that I want to burn incense.
I'm trying to eat the smoke.
Stop trying to eat my smoke. For those who don't, please do not try to blow out the incense. For those who don't know, incense is to help like wear off evil spirits. And for some odd reason, I do not like Mello's bedroom. I absolutely hate it. Oh, there it is. And so I actually burn incense in my own home to help wear off evil spirits. Your roommate actually has incense that he burns for his culture.
Sorry.
Actually, I'm very close to a friend who's half Puerto Rican. Not Puerto Rican. Sorry, Peruvian. Sorry.
Wow.
Shut up! I made a mistake.
That's embarrassing.
Wow, thanks.
Why did I know that, but you did? You've
Because
known him, like way longer
I
than
don't-
I have.
Yeah, no, because for some odd reason, those two get mixed up in my head, and I don't know why. I know what it is, but those names.
It's because of the P.
Yeah, the P. It is actually probably. For those who don't know, I have a learning disability, and that affects it greatly. But part of the culture is actually
P?
to burn. I will.
Oh, you just get shot in the eye?
Oh my gosh! Did I shoot you in the eye? But they burn incense to help out evil spirits and to help cleanse the house. And I started burning incense once a week in my home to wear off evil spirits. Because again, I have strong feelings towards evil spirits. Are we gonna go moving to the next segment, or?
No. We're just talking.
Okay. Here, I'll let
Don't worry, I will
Okay.
control where everything goes. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Except the smoke.
We'll just okay. Well, yeah. The smoke is it looks like it's getting away from me. No, still going towards me.
I had to say something, didn't you?
Yeah. It's trying to get you out of here because apparently
Yeah.
you're evil.
Oh, the same thing happens whenever I'm doing like a campfire or bonfire. The smoke always follows me, like without fail. And I don't know why.
Visited my brother too.
Isn't this thing like...
Okay, so Aiden says something stupid again.
Oh god, this podcast
So-
is going downhill so bad. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so starting from the top, or not the top, but you know, the middle, like somewhat of a middle ground, middle location.
Stuck in the middle.
It just takes some time.
Okay. Lady, I think that you had some something specific that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, the soy sauce plant share?
I think specifically you were talking about something about a ghost, right?
Well, before I start about ghosts, talking about like the ghost stories I had, I need to go into something a little bit more specific. Y'all probably don't believe me when I say this, but I I think as I've gotten older, I've lost touch with it. But when I was younger, I used to have a sixth sense, and I still have it to an extent where I was able to feel and predict stuff. And we noticed that it travels to family. First, I'm gonna start off with like the biggest story that brought this up. I was in middle school at the time, and I was going to this event with my sister, and him where we were gonna be spending the night at this place. And for some odd reason, I just had this absolutely horrible feeling in my gut. And I kept saying, we should not go. We should not go out. We need to stay home. We do not need to go out there tonight. And my sister's like, you're overreacting. I'm going. And my brother drove us down there. He drove us down there in his old blue truck. Him down there. And we got down there okay. And I'm like, maybe I was overreacting. I had fun at the event. We spent the night there. The next morning when my brother came to pick me up, though, he was not driving his truck. He was driving our mom's old minivan. Apparently, the night before, my brother had slid on black ice.
Oh, jeez.
His truck got pretty messed up. 3 out of the 4 sides were dented up. Luckily, he was okay. But that just blew my mind. And here's the craziest thing is, and this is why me and my brother think is hereditary. 3 days later, we get a call from my... I'm so sorry, that was for my pills.
It's a fire.
Sorry.
We don't have those here.
Why,
I took the batteries out of
why
mine.
was it so loud?
Because I need to know when it's time to take my medicine. It's really important.
Well, so we had our own personal little jump scare here. So
But no.
that's cool. Great for the horror podcast.
But no, 3 days later, we get a call from my grandmother. She calls us up, and she calls up my mom, and she's like, please tell your father, your son's okay. Please tell him. Because my grandfather, for the past 3 days, the moment when it happened, had been worrying about my older brother. And he's like, Shadow's in trouble. Shadow's trouble. We need to call. Shadow's in trouble. We need to go help him. Something happened to Shadow. Something happened to Shadow. He would not shut up about it. Just 3 days. Very concerned. And my grandmother could not calm him down until she finally called us and be like, they're going to tell you everything okay. That's when they learned that my brother was in the car accident.
That's scary. We actually... did you have more with
The Sixth Sense?
with that?
No.
I was gonna say, me and Pyropal, our stepdad actually had a similar experience with that. I forget what exactly he said, but I think he said that he had a really bad feeling about going somewhere, doing something. I think it was getting on a plane, actually. And he was lagging behind, and I think one of his friends went on instead, and I think the plane went down.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it's a lot to live with. I can't imagine like the mental baggage that you would hold after having something like that happen.
I mean, to be fair, I do have a weird gut feeling whenever bad shit's about to happen.
Admittedly, mine have gone down over the years. Me and my brother think it's stronger when you're closer to death or when you're younger. When you're first born or close to death. Because my brother had a similar experience when he was much younger. Now, I think a lot of children might have this, because for some odd reason, a lot of children can tell when women are pregnant before women can. A story that is told in my family, when my brother was about 4 years or so, he ran around telling everyone that my mama was pregnant. And everyone was congratulating her. And she's like, I'm not pregnant. She pulled Shadow aside and she's like, hey, Shadow, I'm not pregnant. He stomped his little 4-year-old foot and he's like, yes, you are. And it's going to be a girl. And a few months later, she found out she was pregnant with me.
That's weird.
But apparently a lot of kids can actually do that as well.
Well, I think that's also a very common thing with animals, too. I was reading a story the other day about this. I think it was a cat that was pretty much residential to a hospital where they had a lot of, like, you know, they had the ward for people who were dying, the elderly and all that. And the cat would go and sit by the people who were dying. The next person who dies, the cat would be by their bedside. At one point, there was a patient who seemed like they were on their deathbed, like they were not looking good at all, like 1 foot in the grave. But the cat went and sat with a patient that looked way better. Somebody who didn't really have anything major wrong with them. And I think the next day, the healthy patient ended up having like a heart attack or something and dying.
That to the whole entire children thing was pregnancy. I actually have a friend who's a teacher. During COVID stuff like that, when they were doing on and off at schools, she teaches younger kids, and all the younger kids were still online. There was an older kid who was off and on. She was walking down the hallway with a coworker of hers, and a student points to her and says, "You're gonna have a baby." This student, who did not know the teacher at all, she did not know her at all, and later she learned she was pregnant with her first child. So it's just...
That's kind of funny, though.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of fun. No, it's definitely funny.
Is that?
That's
I can't say if that would be an insult or not at the time.
like, she didn't even look at it.
You know?
To be fair, though, my school, there's a lot of sassy kids at my school, and I can fully believe it. It was just an older kid. But, again, what makes us think it also might be closer to death is that same grandfather who was worried about my brother.
Yeah.
When he was starting to pass away, he kept saying, "So-and-so visit me." Something that shook all of us to the core. He said, "My 2 sisters have come and visit me." He didn't have 2 sisters, or, well, his 2 sisters never got a chance to be him grown up. And he said they come visit him, and it shook me and my brother to the core, as well as he said many other family members who had passed away came and visit him before his passing.
That's fair.
I think, speaking of, like, the afterlife and people who have died and stuff, or, like, the relatives and stuff, I've actually had, not me, but family members who have talked about seeing, like, animals that were associated with the person in life, just come visit them, like, do, like, super out-of-pocket things for an animal.
We have a cardinal that visits Mom's house that we interpret as my mom's dad.
Yeah, we have something similar with also a cardinal.
With our grandma.
Yeah.
Not that our grandma is dead, but a cardinal visits our grandma.
Well, no, I think wasn't it like our grandma thinks that it's one of her brothers or something. I think it was her brother.
Something like that.
The one who passed first, I think. Or I don't know if anybody else has passed, but I know one of them has. I think it was that one.
Well, I do have more stories about the afterlife. I'm going to save that for a different one.
Okay.
The reason why I bring up the stories, though, about the Sixth Sense, it actually plays into, funny enough, 2 hauntings that I actually had in a house. Now, my family built this module house. So you think it wouldn't be haunted, right? No, it had 2 ghosts. I'm going to start off with the nicer one first, because I truly think he's connected to a picture we have of the Southern Belle. If you've seen the Southern Belle, it's beautiful. But back then, it was really popular to take, like, kind of pictures similar to it. Like, not an actual picture, but something similar to it. And put it in a nice frame. Which was my great-grandmother's on my mom's side. And was handed down to my family. The reason why I bring this up is because when we moved, next to that end of the house where that picture exactly was my siblings saw, well, we call him the Shadow Man. A man in completely shadows wearing a top hat. And every time he would see them, he would tip his hat to them. My sister had seen him twice, while Shadow had only seen him once.
Okay, so, sorry to cut you off, but everybody has one of those, right?
Yes, everyone has a shadow man.
With a hat.
It typically shows up in the dark hour, around 3 p.m. or 3 a.m.
Witching hour.
Yep. And its essential job, from my understanding, is to look over you. If you see it, it means you no harm. It's kind of like your guardian angel.
Okay, I do have something to add off of that, though. Very prominent in lucid dreaming. If you dig too deep, he will mean you harm. Do not dig too deep. Be careful.
I don't know how to lucid dream. I don't even know how to control my own dreams. But,
Lucid dreaming's fun.
You can do it.
nice.
I have a lot of lucid nightmares.
God. But
I just have nightmares.
but the reason why I bring them up is because growing up, whenever I was left alone, I always felt a calming presence at that side of the house. And whenever I was left home alone, or with my dad would be sleeping in the bedroom, but I always go to that specific part of the house to deal with him. I'd always go to that specific part of the house whenever I was left home alone to feel safe. Like someone was watching over me, like a comforting fatherly presence. And the reason why I think he's connected to the painting, after we moved from that house, I had a friend come down there to check it out, a friend who can actually feel spirits. He did feel one spirit, the other spirit, but he could not see or feel the Shadow Man. But a few years down the line, not a few years, maybe a year down the line, in our new house, one of my friends who can actually see ghosts, you'll hopefully have him on the podcast soon, actually saw him and thought he was our father that had passed away. His top hat and everything in the living room next to that picture of the Southern Belle. I always thought he might have been like a family member who'd passed away since it was on my mom's side and she had many uncles. Is this still following you? Oh, good lord.
That doesn't scare me like you.
Jesus.
That instance really does like you.
Uh,
You'll be fine. See, nothing there. But, yeah. Another spirit, though, that was on the other side of the house, which I didn't like. For some odd reason, I was terrified of my driveway. It was right next to the den into my brother's bedroom. It scared me to no end. I don't know why. I was just terrified of that area of my house. My brother hated it too. The friend I told you who could feel stuff, who I drove down to the house, that was the spirit he felt. He felt something calling out to him, something not nice. Whenever I would not spend the night in the den unless all the blinds were closed. Every night before the sun was closing down, I had to close all the blinds. My brother, he's not an easily scared man. You all have already met my brother, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Your brother doesn't seem like he'd be very
Yeah, no, he doesn't get
thrown off by anything.
Yeah, no, he doesn't get scared very easily. But he refuses to go through that drive-thru at night. He'd rather grab the trash bin and go all the way to the other side of the house instead of down the driveway at night.
Yeah.
Because there was just... He would have nightmares, too, of someone watching him because his room was right next to that driveway. We actually call him the Burning Man. The reason why is because me and my brother did not know about this until after we moved out. But as a young child, whenever my brother drove through that driveway, I imagined a burning man running straight towards us. I don't know why, and I don't know how, but I could see this burning man just running straight towards us. So I hated to go through the driveway at night. Well, my brother actually had seen him running down the road from his bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us knew about this until a friend of ours, Nawar, was the one who pointed out to us that we both talked about the Burning Man, and that's when we both learned that the other one saw him.
Sounds kind of hot.
That man terrified me. And it wouldn't shock me that someone was burned alive running away. Because it was an older church there that clearly it had some history.
Listen, he sounds like he's a real crispy fella.
I hate all of you. Because this man terrified me in my childhood. I hated it. The only time I truly felt comfortable in the den was when we had to cover all our windows with blankets. We'd lost power and we were trying to keep heat in the house. So we cover all the windows with blankets so the heat wouldn't get out.
I mean, to be fair, if I was burnt alive, I would also probably haunt the shit out of people.
Yeah.
I mean, with a burning rage like that.
Okay.
I guess I do have some.
Fuck your incense.
It's almost done, I swear.
That's what she said.
It's almost done, I swear. Almost there. But since we have time, can I tell you the three death stories I have?
Huh?
Since we have time, can I tell about the 3 death stories? Okay, so for those who don't know, my mother has technically died twice and came back, both medically.
I think a lot of people have died.
Yeah, medically come back.
Stop it.
Stop that incense. Go put it over there.
Okay. Don't put that over there.
Where the fuck am I putting?
Just leave it where it is. It's almost up. No, not on the floor, you fucking idiot.
The table?
No,
Yes.
not on the table.
No.
Do not put it on the table.
Okay, you guys are gonna need.
Okay, listen to the person whose room it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Over here.
Oakley.
Good lord.
Got ash everywhere.
Keep in mind, this is my brother. I'm not being mean to just a random person. I'm being mean to somebody who deserves it.
I'm in danger.
Yeah, he does disturb it.
Jesus.
You're right.
I mean, they're right.
What were you saying?
Okay, so my mom's technically died twice and been brought back medically. First time, though, she had a very interesting experience. When she had passed away, she was a young girl at the time at camp, and she had gotten a very, very high fever, over 100 and so. I think 110, that high.
Jeez.
It messed up her brain. She actually could not read, and now can read everything backwards. She had to relearn how to read. She was at a 9th grade level. It was him before 6th grade, and she had to relearn how to read because it was that bad. But in that time period,
I didn't even know 110 was
it was even something
possible.
I think it was like it might have been something like that.
But
But
at 105, you've got to be put on ice.
Damn.
but no, it was really, really bad. And she technically was medically dead.
105.
I think it might have been.
I've been at 104, so.
Oh God. But technically, she was medically dead at that time. I might have been wrong on the temperature. But her father, my grandfather, drove all the way down to the hospital she was at because she was again away at camp, farther away. And while he was there to show up, when she was technically dead, she told me the story. She was on a bridge, and on the other side of the bridge was a bunch of children playing in a field, and she really wanted to go play with those children. But her father was calling for her. That's the time period where my grandfather showed up. And she walked towards her father because she wanted to see him. And that's when she woke up. Another story I've heard, she said she swears she went to heaven that day. But I've heard the other end of the story where this is someone I know who's not personally religious at all, but I had met him at community college. He had technically died too, drug overdose. And while he was
Wait, have I met?
he was dating, I'm not sure if I want to say his name,
Well, you don't want to.
but he was dating a short girl with blonde hair. I think you did meet them. I think we buttoned your shirt to his shirt.
Oh.
No, I think that was a different guy. But he was also, I think you did meet him.
Real happy, real sad.
No.
Oh, didn't you probably met him a little bit, but didn't get to know him. but he died from an drug overdose.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was technically dead for those 3 minutes, it felt like hours for him.
Yeah.
And there were 2 faces mocking him, torturing him for what felt like hours until he woke up.
Hmm.
He said he swore he went to heaven. Not heaven, hell. Sorry about
Bro,
that.
if that's heaven,
He said he swore he went to hell. And he went cold turkey on everything after that day.
That just sounds like Adam met him at the gates.
You mean... Wait, can I make a reference to hell to him Hasman Hotel?
no, you're not allowed to, actually.
Really?
No, I don't care.
You mean Dickmaster? I'm sorry, I can't refer to him as
Oh my
anything
God.
else. Oh god.
We're all a little special here.
That's a little more than special.
Dickmaster?
Okay, lamppost.
Okay. The final story I'm going to tell that involves Sets. Again, I think it goes back to more of my 6th sense, but this is actually a really sad one for me. I will fight!
Bro,
Hand me
why
that
are they
gun!
icy?
Hand me that gun!
You said that they're icy? Icy dead people?
God.
Icy hot.
I hate all of you! Well, not as tall as the Burning Man.
The bird, what?
Have you not been paying attention?
He does that.
God, so for those
Genetic.
my father had passed away to lung cancer a while back, a few years back, and I still remember the day he died. And I desperately wanted to hold his hand before he passed away, but I couldn't find it. And he passed away, and I ran out of the room, and I ran outside, and I talked to him one last time. I told him everything I could tell to him while he was alive because I was too afraid. And I just apologized for everything. And I can't explain it, but this rush of wind came over me. And it felt like you just said, "It's fine." And I had pins and needles in my arm. And it did hurt. I had pins and needles in my right arm, which was the arm I always held his left hand with. But it didn't hurt, and it forced my hand into as if I was holding someone else's hand. And I don't know what came over me, because my dad just passed away, but I felt this overwhelming joy. This unexplained happiness just came over me. And I was so happy. I have never felt that happiness before, and I haven't felt it since. But I was just at peace with the world, as if I was holding someone's hand walking around. And I kept telling everyone, "He's here right now. He's saying goodbye." And I know that sounds freaking insane, but I think that was my dad's last goodbye to me. And it just made me so happy that he held my hand one more time.
I mean, I don't think it's that crazy. I think to think that there's no afterlife, while being depressive for one, yeah, I think it's also not really likely that there isn't anything. I know there's definitely a lot that we don't know. I know one of those is spirits and ghosts and all that is. There can probably be a science to it at some point.
We're not there yet.
But we're nowhere near that. But I think it's definitely possible that, you know, your dad was there coming and being like, "Hey, you know."
That really means a lot coming from y'all guys. I actually forgot. I had one more story I was going to share before these. I think you told me y'all have something similar to it. It's not personally my story, but my brother's story. When we were younger, we lived in a rundown house. All 3 of us shared a room. So we moved out to the module, which shouldn't have been haunted, but was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the thing of the grounds that, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But the old house, I fully believe it could have been haunted because it'd been in my family for a very long time. And we were all sharing a room, and one day my brother woke up really late at night, and me and my sister shared a bunk bed, and he looked into this corner closet of a lady completely in white, like it's just a white figure, and he doesn't even know how he could tell it was a lady. He just knew it was a lady, watching after me and my sister, and thought everything's good, and went back to sleep.
Me and Aiden also saw a lady in white. See, this is the fun part though, right? I was I think it was in Florida. For me, around maybe like 10 years old, something like that, 10, 12. I would walk. I would leave my bed at night very often, pitter patter my tiny little feet towards my parents' room and sleep in their bed.
Pitter patter, pitter patter.
And often, things would go without any fail. Sometimes I would run into my parents and be like, "Oh shit, no, I was just going to the bathroom, guys. Don't worry about me." But one time, and I do think it was very late. I think it was maybe 2, 3 a.m. I run out into the living room, and in front of me, I see what felt like a very tall woman in this white wedding gown. I felt like she was very tall. I would say 7 feet, something like that, but I might also have been exaggerating because of how tiny I was, seeing as I was a tiny human.
Tiny human.
But I remember her having, I think she was floating or something, but her face was not able to be seen. Couldn't really see her feet or anything. And she had either dirt or blood spattered on her gown.
That's actually really crazy because that's the exact description I have for it, and I actually saw her twice in 2 different houses.
You saw her? Yeah, because you've seen her. I didn't know you saw her twice.
Yeah, one was in our old house. So I moved to the house I'm currently living in 7, 8 years ago.
Which would make you 10, 11 at the time.
At the oldest, yeah.
So around the same age.
It was about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that means our youngest brother is getting around that age. I wonder if he's seen anything.
Oh boy.
Well, we all have the same mom, but he's the only one who doesn't have the same dad, so maybe...
Oh, you think it might be some sort of a curse or ancestry having to do with a biological father?
If he doesn't see it, that could be the reason. Because it follows us.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
So can you continue? I want to know where you saw them in both houses.
Yes.
Joe, what were you saying?
well, a lady in white is also depicted as a sign of a unloyal partner. So that's also a thing. More times than not, it's going to end up showing up, on the side of the road, at a gas station.
La Llorona, right?
No. La Llorona is a whole different thing.
Yeah, no, she's a whole different thing. We can go over that story later.
Okay.
But yeah, Lady in White is usually depicted as a sign of
Deceit.
Yeah, deceit within a relationship, or also protection of children.
I think mine might have been the protection of children because she didn't have any blood on her dress like y'all are explaining.
But see, that's the interesting thing, because even though it was terrifying, I also didn't really feel anything hostile from her.
Same. I was scared shitless, but I was...
Calm.
I didn't feel any menacing or malice.
I mean, I fainted, but that was it.
You fainted?
I fainted.
Jesus. Okay.
Like a bitch.
Well,
Again,
Yeah, but the second time that I saw this ghost bride is what I call her, or refer to as. But the most recent time I saw her was about 2 years ago, maybe less. And I remember that time very vividly. I remember she faded through the walls of my room. I was just laying in bed and I saw her. So, my window is the opposite side of my room from the door. And she came from the window.
To the wall.
Sweat rolling down her balls.
No.
No, just you.
So she came from the window to where?
To the doorway. Fuck you guys. But she faded from like the outside of the house in, and then just left out the door. And as you said, her face was covered in the gown.
yeah.
And she was floating, but I couldn't see her feet. And her dress was dirty and bloody.
Whew.
I'm pretty sure again my brother saw a different being because me and my brother have a theory that she might have been our very great aunt who knew both my parents before she passed away, looking after me and my sister. And my brother, he just knew it was a woman. He didn't see any womanly features about her, no gowns, no nothing. Just a being of light that he just knew was a woman. So we think she might have been that very great aunt of ours, just looking after us.
Interesting.
Sadly, that house is no longer around, though.
So, interesting theory here. If it is some sort of a attached to our biological father's side, do you think it's possible that maybe him or somebody close to him might have, somebody,
It is
and that could be her spirit?
He is an asshole.
Actually,
I wouldn't put it past him. Everyone in his family is like terrible people.
it wouldn't shock me. Actually, you all know where my house is at, right?
Oh.
No.
Y'all know how I live
Yes.
Y'all know how I live in farmland.
Way to be creepy.
You know how I live in farmland, right? Well, my great grandparents' house used to be next to it, and my great grandfather actually killed a man on that land.
Oof.
And the only reason why the police didn't arrest him is because, well,
He was on self-defense rights.
Corruption?
Private property.
Moonshine.
they knew he was going to kill. He knew he was going to kill them if they came on that property to arrest him, and they weren't going to do anything for the other man because it was, he was a sharecropper. It was before my mom was born when we still were separated. It was a race crime. Do y'all get
Why
it?
didn't you just say that?
Because I didn't want to be bad. Okay, I didn't want to explain it here. But me and my friend think the ghost might still be on my family's land.
Listen, you can't cancel history.
That's true, that's true.
All because of...
Please!
God damn it.
Damn it!
Okay, so Aiden said something stupid again.
Strike.
Slightly controversial.
God.
Slightly my ass.
I wanted to shoot you with a Nerf gun again. But I will continue this. I feel really bad because me and my friend think he's still haunting land. And I felt extremely bad. And I hope he doesn't, take that on me, the spirit. Because it's something that my great-great-grandfather did. Because I wasn't there. And to be fair, he wasn't the best man. But my grandfather got out and became a much better man afterwards. But it still sucks that that's in my family's history. And it's tied to the land I'm living on now.
I mean, I can guarantee you anybody that stems from any sort of early colonization of America has that kind of history within their family.
No, the worst part is, his family came here from Ireland.
Oh,
That's interesting.
that is interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
No, not necessarily, because back during the 1940s and 50s, the Irish and black people did have some sort of
Oh yeah, they didn't really like each other very
yeah,
much.
it was
That's
kind of
right.
like the Irish and the Italians.
That's true. Okay, now I can see that now.
But
The Irish didn't get along with many people.
no,
They really didn't.
no.
To be fair, even my grandmother, who's half Irish, her family didn't want her to marry him because he was half Irish. My grandfather. They even have issues with themselves. But those are a lot of my stories. Again, just a lot of spirits coming around my land. I do have one other story, but I wanted to save that for when my friend could see ghosts. But since we have a little bit of time left, I think I might tell y'all. Y'all
Or
know.
we can,
Save it for later.
yeah. I mean, there's.
Oh yeah, we can save it for later. Actually, I think that's a good story to save for later because the spooky ghost that lives in my family's house.
I kind of wanted to go back to. I feel like the whole Hat Man thing was kind of grazed over a little bit too much. I think, Joe, you seem to have a lot of
Knowledge
things
on
to
this.
say.
Well, I dug into it as kind of a hyperfixation for a little while
Fair, as you do.
because within the past 6 months I've seen it 5 times.
The Hat Man?
Oh.
Yeah,
Where?
Huh.
from my bathroom.
Can I sleep in your room tonight?
No,
Give him the puppy dog eyes.
it's a whole lot of no.
See, I've only ever seen him in my dreams.
No, I've seen it.
I've never seen him, but I felt him.
And a lot of the times, it turns out it's either there for good reasons, like
Yeah.
something good is gonna come out. Like, as of recent, I got to meet face to face my now fiance.
You're engaged?
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Hell yeah, brother.
But I got to meet her, got to spend 2 wonderful months, and soon she'll be back to live permanently. Now, since she had started being here, I had not seen him once. But I still have not, slept in my room since she left. Which, it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
I will personally admit, though, since I'm very easily terrified, I think the main reason why I've never seen my shadow man because I've always had a light on.
I mean, there's some genuineness with being afraid of the dark.
I'm terrified of the dark. I usually have two lamps on in my house. One in the room I'm sleeping in and one in the kitchen/hallway so I can see my way to go to the bathroom.
I used to be terrified of the dark for a really long time, but once I stopped seeing as much supernatural stuff, I kind of became less fearful of the dark. Especially when I was younger, I would see and hear a lot of really menacing dark forces. I would see
Very vague.
I'm about to explain
Are
that.
you sure that's not just like schizophrenia kicking in?
No,
It's more common in gay men.
Hey, fuck you.
We're fucking called out.
Like you would even want to. It's not like Lady's a man.
Wait, I'm not?
You might be. I don't know. It's 2025.
So as I was
You can
saying,
do whatever
bros,
you want. Even have
so
Apache
really
helicopter.
Pull your pants up.
Oh god.
I gotta check.
Anywho. But yeah, I've seen dozens of shadow figures, but I've never been able to actually look directly at them. They've always been in my peripheral vision.
Oh yeah, I have the same thing.
Oh no,
And
I
I've
looked
heard-
this motherfucker in its eyes.
I have
I mean, it's always peripheral. Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
and dark clouds.
But it's like
in the
hundreds of them.
I mean, to be fair, I see freaking spirits around this house all the time.
Well, no, it's different because it's like shadows. It's like the shadow people.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, there's so many of them.
I only see a few at a time.
I have someone else in this
I only,
house.
I only see a few at a time.
No, I see, like, 20, 30.
Yeah, no.
I see
one's,
maybe
little blind,
double
there's,
digits.
old man.
Like, just barely double digits. At most.
There's a reason why I refuse to be in this house alone.
It's the little boy.
No,
Creepy as shit.
I haven't seen it
Yeah.
yet.
Story time?
Later. We're about to end.
Okay.
Well, another time.
Yeah.
Alright.
Y'all want to bring a Ouija board in here and talk
No.
to me?
No.
No,
God.
That was the fastest no I've ever heard from anybody.
I think we all
was-
said no. I made a joke, but I do truly mean no. I know that they're more attracted to people who are sensitive. I don't play those games, even though I did have a friend who tried to do that in him in a graveyard next to a mental health hospital.
Oh, Jesus.
Yay!
That's not good.
Mm.
Okay, Aiden,
Must
you were
been a
saying about
crazy
the
time.
shadow men? Or the shadow people?
Yeah, at the same time that I would see these apparitions, I would
Big
also...
word. Scrabble points.
Oh my god, yeah.
4 whole syllables. It's a very difficult thing.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Good job. Let's clap it out.
Shut the fuck up.
You're not the first teenager to tell me that this week. Not even the first.
Okay, but within the same night, not exactly the same time, but the same night that I would see these aberrations, I would also hear, like, demonic growling under my bed. Like, very...
Oh, yeah, I used to hear that too.
Yeah, it was
What
like
the fuck? Hold on,
it's
hold
like
on,
a-
wait,
it's
whoa,
like a,
hold
It's like
on.
a hellhound or something.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Same house?
And sometimes I hear bed creaking, or like I hear like sometimes I'll hear like snoring from the
Still?
bed.
Snarling? Yes.
No, snoring.
Snoring, no.
It might have been like a snarl.
Wait, I mean, if it's snoring, it's probably me under you.
No, I mean this is like whenever I'm the only one home type
Oh,
of thing. It's specifically usually whenever I'm the only one home.
like
This
whenever
is-
I'm over at mom's.
Yeah.
Is that here, too?
It's just been anywhere I've lived.
Oh.
This is
I'll
why
hear snoring from the bed. I'll hear shit coming from underneath the bed.
I only-
I'll hear stuff from around the room.
Yeah, I don't hear like creaking or any of that stuff, like you said.
I hear
I-
voices around the house whenever I'm home.
I a lot of times, even when I'm home where it's like 3 in the morning, I will hear a lot of voices, like, and I'll be able to hear them speaking, but never make out what it is. Do you guys get that?
this is
No.
why I have 2 cats.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
Because I got tired of hearing my house. Have you guys heard of like house groans? Like when you live in an old house, my house does that.
Yes, the
Does-
house settling.
Yeah, the house settling.
To a certain point, you can explain it away, but
Yeah.
after a certain point, it's
Once
a
you
little
see
hard
cups
to.
being moved from place to place, that's when you're like, yeah.
I have
this
not
place
seen
is on.
that.
Yeah.
I have not seen that, and I have 2 cats for that reason. To be fair, 2 people did die in my house.
See, the thing is, I love finding something that's quote unquote supernatural or paranormal, and then being able to explain it away as something scientific or something that is, self-explained, common sense type of thing.
Actually,
But then I also love it whenever I can't, because then it just makes it so much more interesting. Like trying to figure out, like, there's no way that this can be example A can be anything but something supernatural or paranormal.
So it's kind of like a spice of life type thing.
Yeah.
Like why some
I'll
people
show
enjoy
you the
it.
spice of life.
Okay.
God,
Hi, puppy.
please hand me the Nerf gun. But actually, if you guys really want to do some supernatural, I visited New Orleans over the summer.
That's fun.
I would love to.
I think we should go do that. I did a haunted tour. Was not worth the money. I will say that now.
Oh, they never are.
Yeah, but I'd love to go down there and visit with y'all. Maybe like get a map tour or something like that to see all the haunted places.
I mean,
I just want to play in Mardi Gras.
yeah, me too. But
Actually,
the spooky stuff sounds fun too.
I actually do have a mask that's good for Mardi Gras if you don't want to borrow it since it doesn't fit my face well.
Mardi Gras during the day, spooky shit during the night, more Mardi Gras during later night.
I got beads. I got beads when I went down to New Orleans.
That's anyway. Aiden, you were saying you were saying about what were you saying about talking about? You were talking
The
about something?
growling and the voices.
Yeah, the growling and the snarling and the voices and the
Yeah, all these things would happen in the same night. They were almost never at the same time, but it would always be during the same night, and it happened like 2 or 3 times in this house that I'm living at for the past 8 years.
It only happened. Yeah, it only happens for me too. Like during like
It's always
specific days.
Yeah, and it's
What specific days?
it's only at night. It's once I turn all the lights off
Yeah.
and I go to bed.
It's at nighttime. No. Yeah, I think it's only been like whenever it's dark out. No, actually, no. Whenever I was back in the house that you're currently living in, I would have it happen even whenever I was awake, even during like daylight hours, and it would happen a lot more often. So honestly, it might actually just have something to do with the state of mind, which with a lot of, especially demonic type shit. I know they feed off of your like
Depression.
negative emotional energy. Yeah, your
Yeah.
depression. So that would make a lot of sense because I was fucking miserable.
Around 10 is when I started to become unalive.
10 years old, or
Yeah,
Actually-
that's how old I was when I started having unalive thoughts.
Actually,
you know?
the no more living.
Yes.
that might explain why a lot of the supernatural stuff started taking a slow note around me when I started getting on antidepressants.
Yeah.
It's actually, I was talking to my friend who can see ghosts, and he brought up how a lot of whenever you take meds and stuff like that in his family, like certain medicines, like antidepressants, stuff like that's not even supposed to like affect your mind. Good for our, what's it called again?
Huh?
When you see stuff and it's not really there.
Hallucinations?
Hallucinations. Wait.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Psychotic? No. There's like a certain word for that when people see hallucinations all the time.
Well, I don't know. I suppose it is weird that me and Aiden see the exact same things, but like, to a certain extent, like the whole, because okay, the first time that we talked about the woman in the wedding dress, I explained like half of it to Aiden after he had already seen his bit, and he explained the other half to me.
And when did we first discover we both saw the same
A couple of years ago, maybe? Because you were currently 18, yeah?
Yeah.
I think it was probably like whenever you were like maybe 13, 14,
Yeah, but
15, something like that.
Do you remember how it came up in conversation?
I think we were just talking about spooky shit like we are now.
Oh, okay.
Spooky, scary stuff.
Jesus.
So shivers down your back.
Oh.
Demonetized.
Okay, joke's on you. I'm posting this on YouTube and Spotify.
Spooky.
Double demonetized.
No!
Double demonetized?
Bro,
Double
I-
D's?
Okay, double D's nuts.
Monetized
Wow.
by demons.
Wow.
What did you just say?
Dumb.
Aiden?
Monetized by demons.
Monetized by demons.
Monetized by demons.
Demonetized.
I feel like that could be a webcomic. Monetized by demons.
I mean, what?
Or demonetized.
Sister.
Same. Wait, what's the error code? But either way, I think because we would talk about a lot of like different stuff. Because I remember you were talking about at one point there was like you would see a lot of stuff like in your room.
Oh yeah, it was always in my room. I never
The,
saw
the house next to the highway.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is a bit of a fucked up story. I saw this outline of a boy in a baseball outfit, and I can see the like the aura, I guess, the outline of these spirits. I've seen white, green, and blue, and this spirit had blue, I guess more of like a teal outline. I don't really know what that means, but
Well,
I
it's
found
probably
out.
better than red.
Have you actually seen one with a red outline?
No. I can't see auras.
Can you?
Yeah, I just said.
Yeah, that's what you. Wow, now who's not listening?
Okay,
I'm
so
s-
again, white, green, and blue are the 3 auras that I've seen around spirits. But this spirit, teal, and again, baseball outfit, I found out later, when I asked about it to my parents, our neighbors had someone in their
Nice.
family who came back from a baseball game and they got ran over and died, right?
No.
Is that how it went?
Close.
I was really young when this
No,
happened.
Let's not dox them too much, but
No, I won't give any names. All right, so I went to school with I believe he was the youngest. But yes, after a baseball game, they came home, started riding on their dirt bikes,
Yep.
tried to cross the highway with their dirt bikes, and a pickup truck hit the one brother.
Oh, fuck.
Not only did everybody at school, but everybody in the surrounding community, they kind of all got together for him. And I know exactly what you're talking about because in the woods behind their house and between my mom's house, I was out at night with one of my other friends and I saw something similar. Not with any aura around, but definitely the right around figure of the kid. And that was about whenever I was
Actually, I
14 or 15.
Actually, I have a place to take you now since I know you can see aura.
interesting.
I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you the story later, but it might accidentally dox me since I will be revealing the true story of what happened. So I'll tell you all later.
But no, it was really fucked up. I know. The kid's parents were
They got a divorce after it.
yeah, but
That tends to happen. When a child passes, it can be a lot of stress.
yeah.
I lost a family member after the loss of a child because of the stress.
But now that the mood has drastically dropped and the tone is very sad now,
Very bleak.
let's bring this.
I saw these.
let's bring this up a bit.
Yippee!
Yippee! Yippee! We did talk about like a lot of like supernatural, spooky stuff. One of the things we did talk about, I think, was our the last segment of the show's zombie apocalypse plan.
Ooh.
So here's the question, guys: what is your go-to zombie apocalypse weapon? Obviously, within reason.
It depends. It depends on the type of zombie apocalypse. I'm gonna let these two go first, though, because I know I'm in a different area.
Okay. Are we talking Walking Dead, Resident Evil, or are we talking like World War Z?
Let's
zombies?
say you wake up one day on the TV, you hear the dead are rising, zombies are walking the earth, and that's all you know.
Probably just like a metal baseball bat or something. Like a big metal pipe, something like that. Also, if I have the opportunity of having like a ranged weapon, maybe like a crossbow.
Why the fuck are we the same person?
God.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Because I said the exact same thing in the last episode that I
Really?
recorded. Yeah.
I know we talked about me having bad aim. I'm gonna actually let you go first.
I'm a good aim, actually.
I'd probably go with a melee weapon of broadswords and as a ranged weapon, or ranged weapons.
Which is within reason, because you have a literal fucking sword in your room.
Okay, here's the thing.
That is 5 foot long. Anybody who knows it, it's the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII.
Which would be a pain in the ass to wield, and it would slow you down a lot, but you could still kill some zombies with it.
Well, to be fair, I wield it with quite
More ease than the
effortlessness.
normal person.
Yeah. But basic longsword, broadsword, or gladius style blades.
Yeah.
As far as ranged weapons, if I'm trying to just live off the land, I'd go for a makeshift longbow with, good arrow or good fashioned arrows, and or I'd probably go with a silenced AR-15 with just a simple red dot and a foregrip.
Okay.
Knowing me, I'm not really the best with melee. And if I could get home quick enough, I'd probably say handguns, because actually, even though y'all were questioning my aim, I actually do have the best aim out of my family.
Well, throwing something compared to shooting something, compared to shooting something, even with shooting something with like a gun, compared to a Nerf gun, compared to a crossbow.
I mean, to be fair,
Are
you
all
could go
entirely different
full
things.
Oh, that's
Mortal
true, that's
Kombat
true.
Armageddon, bring out the nunchucks, and go full Liu Kang on that shit.
To be fully fair, I'd probably go hunting rifle, since I've actually beaten my brother in a game where it involved a hunting rifle. We were shooting targets. I actually beat him, and he had been hunting for years, because I naturally have good aim and a slow heartbeat. And my other, something that wouldn't be as far distance would probably just be a handgun, because I actually do have my hands on those, because I do live by myself out in the woods, and it takes the cops and the ambulance sometimes 10 to 15 minutes to get out to my neck of the woods.
Fair. I mean, to be fair, we live closer to the actual city. The cops around us will end up coming up here in like 2-3 minutes.
And
They're
I do have,
Yeah.
and again, there are wild animals in my backyard. My aunt, who doesn't live too far away, did have a not black bear, but did have a bear walk in her backyard.
I hit a black bear with my car.
Yeah.
I hit it.
Car
It was mine.
1,
It was
Bear
unbearable.
0.
Well, it was more car 1, bears 1.
Car 1, bear half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so, I'd probably go for typical guns, even though I know they make a lot of noise. If I can get close to my family's home, I think I'll be good.
If you can get a silencer, that would be a big help, at least.
Oh yeah.
Well, if I was my family, we'd most likely probably have some form of system set up, especially since we have a lot of churches. Get most of them out, build a compound type deal.
Sounds kind of culty to me.
You'd be surprised, having a lot of churches with church bells. Get them dragged to certain areas and shoot them dead, or to get supplies.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
No, that's actually kind of smart.
Yeah.
So,
So, let's just assume Walking Dead.
Yeah. But, me, by the way, for weapon, we'll go high quality metal bat. What? It's gonna be high quality.
Yes.
Had to make sure it was high quality,
Just-
right?
Oh, if it's aluminum, it's not gonna hold up. I'd rather have a wooden bat over an aluminum one.
I actually have broken.
Aluminium.
I've actually broken a wooden bat before, so they're not as strong as you think they are.
Yeah.
To be fair, I
Also
was
depends on
fighting.
material because
I was also fighting
Titanium
ice.
yes.
Ooh.
I was fighting ice that day.
The,
It's the baseball
I
bat.
love that we all had the same thought.
Yeah. We went out. Me and my sister went out, and we started breaking ice with bats. And I broke the wooden bat.
okay.
Listen, if y'all knew the looks on all three of our faces, oh my god.
I grew up in the country. We didn't have much to do
Except play with ice.
with
Oh.
baseball bats.
Anyway, moving on. So yeah, crossbow.
The original, bitch.
I was. You stole it from me.
You're just a remake.
Oh my
If
god, I'm
that-
Josh 2.0.
Yeah, which is sad for
That's
you.
what-
Honestly, because I can prove it, you look exactly like him.
I'm
at
gonna
the
be-
same
hey.
fucking age.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did not know your name for months because everyone just kept calling you Lester Josh.
Oh, that's why you
I call
always
him Little
me.
Josh.
Because I did not know your name for like a few months.
What
Words hurt, you know.
It's okay.
what are your guys' zombie apocalypse plans though?
Kill myself.
Jesus.
Real though.
For me,
It's already a challenge enough.
if I could get to it, if it's not bad enough, I would get away from
Might
my
be better.
home. If I'd probably
So
wait
100.
I'd probably wait for the I'd probably wait for the craziness to calm down. If I can't wait for it, pack up my cats in my car, and try to drive down to my family's home. Because a lot of people think the military is going to like fall when it happens, but in reality, they have contingency plan. Him 88. I've done a lot of research on this. Okay, don't judge me.
I mean,
I'm
the military
judging
will
you.
be fine. I don't
Yeah.
know if we will.
But my house isn't too far away from the military, and so I'm hoping to get to there quickly, and to just hopefully hang out there because there's not a lot of big cities around there. As even though I live in the neck of the woods, my neck of the woods is right up against the city, so I would try to get away from there to better my odds. Plus, I know where a spring's at, so fresh water, a bunch of farmland to get food from. And again, not too far away from a military base. I'm not going to say which, because there's a few in North Carolina, where my family's from. And hopefully be safe.
What about you, Josh? What would you do?
Armor, houseboat.
I'm on a boat with a couple of echoes.
I will tell you my
Come on,
ideas about
come on,
house...
fat phone.
I will tell you what my thoughts on houseboats are later. You'll love it.
I'm sure.
Mm.
Um,
And you, Gorilla Master.
We might have a I might do a jail cell too, like
I was thinking of a prison.
prisons are good,
No, but prisons are also big hot spaces, because
but they're also fortified.
But they'll clear out all the food, the weapons, all that, and usually the prisoners are the first ones that they'll have serve the army if you don't have like a criminal record, if need be.
Well, it's not good for supplies, but it's a good base.
Mm.
I'm gonna show y'all one of my favorite YouTube channels, or at least was.
I mean, I'd probably try to find some sort of fenced-in compound that would result in a
Coal?
a gas station, a grocery store,
Prison.
a shop,
A coal?
like a mechanic shop. You know, because at that point, I could survive off of what's inside for at minimum a year.
Yeah.
And having a gas station and a shop, and ideally, maybe even a parts house, you'd have everything you'd need to survive until most of not only the craziness dies down, but all of the
Crazies.
psychopaths.
Wow.
Dead
I'm being
Rising.
called out right now.
Well, once all the psychopaths end up getting offed by one another.
Yeah.
You know, something no one ever really mentions for, going in terms of going places during a zombie apocalypse. Why does no one ever mention islands?
Actually, islands
Dead
are pretty
Island?
good. There are actually a lot of...
Okay, but if you
No,
find
there's actually a lot of good islands, speaking of. Depending on what island you go to, can actually be like a really good source. I know there's
Go
a
to the
few
Bermuda
islands out in the
Triangle.
Outer
The
Banks.
NASA.
There's a few islands out in the Outer Banks that are actually pretty good. One I gotta relook up again, but it used to have a small town on it before everyone left because it wasn't exactly the best area. But it has a lot of supplies there, as well as water supplies and king groves.
Guantanamo?
Hmm.
I said the Outer Banks.
No, think about it. It is, one, a fortified prison.
And a lot.
It's on its own. And I'm sure there's some sort of weaponry and armor that's inside for, supposed riot gear, stuff like that. So, taking over a place like Guantanamo or a military operation, that would be an ideal situation.
Fair. What about you, Aiden?
There's like a lot of good islands out here too. Go fishing, and if you get tired of eating fish, horse meat.
Ugh.
There's a bunch of wild horses on the Outer Banks.
But Aiden, what's your zombie apocalypse strategy?
Well, I just need to have people with me that know how to survive in, a situation where society has,
Crumble.
burned to the ground.
Vets.
I would need someone who knows how to get, fresh water,
So your strategy is to mooch off of other people's strategies.
I would make up for it. Like,
How? Intertwine.
No.
You know
You're
what?
not supposed
Yes.
to tell people.
Crazy.
God.
like the way people work for, not money, but for food and, like, water and
So
shelter.
you want to be a panhandler?
Fuck
Or-
yeah.
I will say
Or
though,
a prostitute.
contingency plan 8888.
Yes.
You will save us.
Yeah.
Okay. Mooch.
Mooch.
Anyway.
It's either that or I just die.
Man,
First zombie.
We can make that
Aiden's gonna be patient 0.
That's
I'm good at surviving zombies. I'm not good at surviving. That's where the struggle is.
Jesus.
I was
natural causes will take you out.
Probably, yeah.
yeah.
Aiden's gonna be fighting the zombie apocalypse and then he's gonna die to like fucking falling off a cliff or something.
I was sheltered like a
Down the arm.
princess in a tower. Like I've not been able to live life.
You're a really gross looking princess.
Darling,
Oh god.
darling, you're the furthest thing from a princess. Maybe the horse the princess rides on.
Maybe the dragon.
Maybe the donkey.
How dare you insult donkey?
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the podcast, though. I'd like to give a very big thank you to Gorilla, Pyropal, and Ladylost.
Oh, thank you.
Lady, do you have any links to add?
Maybe just like my YouTube channel or something. It's been a while since I posted something, but I might post stuff soon. Speaking of zombie apocalypse, I might have something for y'all to do later.
On your YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And y'all survive.
Go ahead and tell people what your name is on YouTube.
It's Ladylost 13.
Ladylost13. Everybody go subscribe.
Please don't.
Everybody subscribe.
Please don't.
We want, if this is like, you're watching this 3 years down the line, she hasn't touched her YouTube channel at all. I want you guys all to go to her YouTube channel still and subscribe.
Now I have to get that video done before you post this, don't I?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Come on.
Anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching or listening. Oh, got YouTube brain. Thank you guys for coming on the show. It was a lot of fun. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yes, sir.
Bye.